to me and his channel.
What's up, it's your boy LOE Visuals. I'm back with another video. How day going? Hope y'all vibing, y'all chilling, y'all enjoying y'all day, y'all productive. That we back at it. Before I start, y'all smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button. Well, road to 10K subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. Turn post notifications on. Find me on any other platform. My link tree is in my bio. Follow my X at Visuals LOE. Follow my TikTok at LOE.Visuals. Follow my Facebook at LOE Visuals. So let's talk about it. So, Jaron Ennis is being accused of being a hater. You know, it's kind of blatant, but Brian Norman Sr., called him out. And it looks like, at this point, he may be hating on Terence Crawford. The first instance, he did an interview, and, interviewer asked him who did he feel that was on, Jaron Ennis' Mount Rushmore. And he kind of excluded that Terence Crawford is not on his list, and it looks like a little bit of salt from him, but I gave him a pass because when I was playing ball, I wouldn't call anybody better than me. Even if I felt like they had more than what I had, I wouldn't say that they're better than me. They might be in a better situation, but skillfully or talent based, I don't feel like, a lot of guys are better than me. So, that could be the competitiveness, from Boots. And I can give them grace on feeling that way, because as competitors, you don't want to, put somebody who's still active, still going, and kind of put them over you. You kind of shooting yourself in the foot. Where's your confidence? Because in boxing, everybody knows this is a confidence game. The best usually are the guys with the most confidence. So I kind of feel Boots on that, instance. I understand him not wanting to put him on his Mount Rushmore because Crawford is still active. He's still active, and it's basically Boots' competition, how he feels. So I understand that situation. I'm not gonna just knock him for feeling like he's he doesn't want to put a guy that's active on. I'm not mad at that. That's understandable. That's competition. I can respect that. But there was another reports that came out about Boots asked they asked Boots about how does he feel about Crawford's Canelo performance, and Boots kind of went with it was unimpressive, and now that's what we can consider hating, because we did see the news that Boots was sparring with Canelo Alvarez. I didn't report about it, but we heard about it. If you really was into boxing or you locked in, we heard about the reports, and that wasn't Canelo's request. From what I learned, Canelo didn't request Boots. Boots asked to spar with Canelo, and that's what I've learned. And it looks like you kind of got some disdain for Crawford if it's Boots. Boots looks like he has some disdain for Crawford, which I don't understand. You had the opportunity to fight the man, you didn't fight him. He moved up, you moved up. It's kind of crazy. I can't understand why. If you had the opportunity to get in there with him, so that does look like hating from Boots. Him saying that the Canelo performance wasn't good. It's kind of far-fetched for you to say when you get in there with guys like Uzma Lima and those type of guys of the world. And in all honesty, Boots is supposed to be a bigger name in the sport than he is right now. He's a he did unify 147. Now he's at 54 campaign, but I feel like Eddie Hearn has held Boots back. Like, Boots could be way bigger in the game, if he took certain fights and stop trying to selectively pick these fights, because I feel like he's talented enough to hang with anybody in the ring. I just feel like the decisions he make outside of the ring aren't very smart. I don't think his IQ outside of the ring is where he is right now. You know, that's where he's so stagnant in his career. If you want me to just be honest, the reason is because, you know, the decisions he's made. I mean, Eddie Hearn hasn't really did anything for him as far as getting big fights. And he's basically, you know, throwing shade at Crawford for no reason. I mean, you had a great opportunity, if I'm not mistaken. Crawford was actually entertaining Jaron Boots Ennis. Boots turned the fight down. From what I've learned, he turned it down, didn't want the fight, and now it looks like he's just salty. Like, you know, he got some against Crawford, and in all honesty, I mean, there's two different generations, or, you know, so it's. I mean, if it would have happened, I would have been for it, but in all honesty, you know, Boots is still young. I think he's 28, so he still has a lot to get done. You know, Crawford just turned 38 recently, so, you know, it's two different times in boxing. You know, Crawford just been around for a long time, so, you know, it was an opportunity to get done. But Crawford didn't have to fight Boots. It was just an opportunity, and that's why I thought it was gonna get made. But Boots turned it down. So, I mean, he can't have all of these, you know, disdain, you know, all these feelings, and I don't like Crawford, or you salty about Crawford. You can't have that. You had an opportunity to get in the ring with him. You said no. But if I'm looking at it, yeah, he looks like a hater. He looks like he's hating bad. If anybody says that, you know, Crawford performance against Canelo was bad, you know, you clearly just don't like Crawford. He went in there and beat the guy 9-3. Moved up 2 weight classes and beat him 9-3. Easily. You know, so for Boots to say anything like that, that's hate. You know it. Everybody knows that. Knows that hate. That's hate. You know, I can't get past that. You know, but if you know you had the opportunity to fight Crawford, you shouldn't have all this disdain for him. And I understand that this is your rival, but are y'all really rivals? Are you really rivals? I mean, if anything, I would look at more of Earl Spence as a rival or something. That's something you could probably, I would expect Earl to say, but, you know, Earl wasn't on no hating tip. You know, he was actually rooting for Crawford from what I seen. But you got a guy like, you know, Boots, you know, who had an opportunity to fight Crawford, turned the fight down. Now it's still, you know, it's still some hate. Cause I don't see Crawford spinning back and giving Boots the fight. You know, I know Boots probably thought, oh yeah, you know, everybody's on my time. It's not like that. You haven't done anything for the sport to be on your time. So, you know, that's probably what he's upset about. You know, he missed the opportunity, but, you know, it is what it is. You can't be mad at Crawford, you know, because he took the chance. But you was in the same similar situation. You had a chance to take a chance and fight Crawford, but you didn't. So, you know, you got to blame yourself right there. But let me know what you guys think about it. I mean, I think it's hate from Boots. You know, Brian Overseen called him out on it. You know, he knows it's hate. You know, and everybody, you know, with a brain know that, you know, it's some disdain or some low-key hate from Boots about Crawford. It's hard to miss, but, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure y'all smash the like button. We're on the road to 10K. I love you guys so much. I'm out.